we're wanting to both function and feel well, then it's important for us to have enough space. This is true in our bodies with our joint spaces. It's true with our organ tissue. It's true with our nervous system as well. All these parts of us need space in order to function well. And if they don't have that space to function well, they're going to let us know about it in the way of pain or discomfort or lack of movement, etc. The same can be true for our mind and, again, our nervous system in our daily lives, in our calendars. If we look at our calendar and it's just packed full and there's no space for ourselves, that's going to feel a certain way for us. The same thing with our physical environment. If it's cluttered, if it's messy, we're going to feel that as well. So it's important to take care of our environment externally, whether that's in our calendars, whether that's in our homes or our workspaces, but sometimes it's not an option. Sometimes our day is just full. And so what do we do then? This is when it becomes even more important to create space within our bodies. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go through an exercise designed to create that space, to make sure that we're not losing that space one breath at a time. If we're in a stress response, everything's just starting to close in and the breath gets tighter, it gets more shallow. Maybe our spine starts to lose good posture. We start to lose certain positions and we just start to go inward. And so this is an excellent exercise for us to create that space through a key part of the body. We're going to address the T6-T7 segment of the spine, right in the middle of the back, right in the middle of our body. And this is particularly important because of the respiratory diaphragm that sits as a big dome at the bottom of the rib cage. And again, if this muscle is tight, it's going to have an impact of how we feel, how we handle stress, how we digest, all of these types of things. So creating space here can have a huge return in terms of not only how we're feeling, but also how well we're functioning too. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come to a seated position. We'll be in a cross-legged position in order to create this space. Now this exercise is an ELDOA. This is an exercise created by a French osteopath in order to create space through the body. Okay, it's the best way that I know how to create that space for ourselves. So coming down into a seated position, we're going to have both sit bones rooted firmly into the floor. We're going to let our knees push down towards the floor to keep our lower body in a good position. When we arrive in position, we're going to hold for a minute. Okay, so now that we're rooted into the floor, we're going to start to sprout up nice and tall through the spine. Not militant with our chest forward and our rib cage forward, but not slouched and rounded either. Somewhere in between with that nice long spine right up through the crown of the head. Once there, we're going to take our hands out to the side with our palms facing the ceiling. We're going to come around so that our fingertips touch at the top, allowing our shoulder blades to get nice and wide and reaching those hands up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to hold for a minute here. You can imagine someone's pulling the top of the head up towards the ceiling, creating that traction through the spine. We'll get nice full inhales into the abdomen, letting it gradually come up into the rib cage. Keeping that rib cage stacked nicely on top of the pelvis. Reaching those hands up away from the pelvis towards the ceiling, letting it pull those ribs up away from the pelvis. 10 more seconds here. We'll hold for one more full breath. And then we're going to very slowly release the tension one piece at a time, resisting the urge to collapse. So there you have it. This is an ELDOA for your T6-T7 segment of the spine. This can have a great impact on, again, things like your digestion, your respiration, your spine for sure, but overall just how you're feeling and a way to create space within your body when maybe there's some lacking of space in other parts of your life. So good luck, enjoy the practice, and I hope it helps.